He's joining us on the line. Honorable Northern Member of Parliament, Samuel Kujeto Ablakwa. Welcome to Eyewitness News.
Hi, Umaru. Thank you very much for having me.
I do know that your preoccupation is the cathedral. I didn't know that you have moved now to sports stadia and also football games and other events that come up. You were saying that you've done some investigations and the money that has been voted for the All Africa Games is not the money we are intending to spend. Please tell us more.
Well, Umaru, good evening to all your distinguished listeners. You do know that as a member of parliament who is concerned about carrying out our mandate, which really is about oversight, making sure that there are checks and balances and that the executive is held accountable. I have pursued matters to do with financial oversight, making sure the public purse is protected. And I've been pretty much consistent, Umaru. Beyond the National Cathedral, you recall what we achieved on presidential travels, stopping the president from using 20,000 euro ultra luxury jets. You recall what we have achieved in stopping the foreign ministry from purchasing a $12 million Oslo chancery. You also recall how we scuttled the 241.9 million Ghana cedis that was put in the budget for so-called e-transaction levy services. It was not value for money. You remember the Hyven scandal, how we saved the Ghana airport lands, but for what we did, all those lands will have been gone. Then you recall the kitchen scandal, the West Blue matter. So there has been quite a great deal of oversight that I have spearheaded. And so I want you to acknowledge all of that.
Yes, I do. I'm just looking at the headline one is the National Cathedral. That's
yes,
how you use
that. I know. Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
So let's talk about this particular one then. What have you found?
Yes. So this particular one, it relates to the 13th African Games, as you have rightly noted. The games are expected to commence next week. Now, we in Parliament, we were called upon to assist with a number of approvals. So the first one we did was a loan facility for the infrastructural side of things, which costs us about 190. When I say as the Ghanaian taxpayer, so about $195 million has been invested in those infrastructural and facility upgrading interventions. So that is a separate amount of money. Now, for the 2024 budget, we were called upon to approve the operational expenses, which you can put under goods and services for the LOC. And what the LOC and the Ministry of Youth and Sports told us they need is 100 million cedis. If you look at the minister's presentation to Parliament on the 12th of December 2023, he asked for 100 million cedis for goods and services, and then an additional 50 million cedis for capex, for infrastructure, which we approved. So we know that in terms of operational expenses, it's 100 million cedis. I have been in utter shock when I began intercepting documents which reveal that, contrary to what we approved, they have gone to balloon the amount. It's gone through the roof. It's now sixfold. Instead of 100 million, it's now $48 million, which is in excess of 600 million cedis. At the prevailing exchange rate, it's about between 602 to 604 million Ghana cedis. This is mind-boggling. If you cannot stay within budget, what you do, the the right thing to do, what is legal, what is appropriate, is that you come back to the house. You must come back to the house and convince us why what you yourself said you would need. Then we will look at it on its merit, and then we'll give you a new approval. That has not been done. And we have been asking ourselves, between December and February, what has happened? What is the cataclysmic shift? What has been so earth-shattering that suddenly 100 million cities, which is a very handsome amount, is no longer adequate, that they intend to spend 602 million Ghana cedis. And you look at it critically, it means that for the 18 days, every day, they intend to spend 33.4 million Ghana cedis. And you have to put all of this in proper context. Look at the state of the Ghanaian economy. We are not in a good place. We are at the IMF, desperately seeking a bailout. We have been downgraded. We can't have access to the international financial market. We have defaulted on our loans. We are insolvent. Is this the time to be engaged? Look, even if you want to review the budget within the current economic context, shouldn't you even be reviewing the budget downwards? There are many people who have argued that we should not even be hosting the games, considering our economic situation. That is what Australia did. A few months ago, Australia pulled out of hosting the Commonwealth Games on economic grounds, that their economy was not on a sound footing. And Australia's situation is not as worse as ours. So if there should be any review, she should even be reviewing downwards, not a six-fold escalation.
Is it possible, Honorable, that they got money from elsewhere through sponsors and maybe donors, and so that will not be Ghana's taxpayer who is going to bear the remaining 500 million plus? Could that be a reason?
That is not the reason. From the digging I have done, they are relying largely on SOEs, state-owned enterprises, and it comes back to us. These are public entities. So Ghana Gas, for example, the president chaired a meeting, and you see what is worrying is that the president, who's been former attorney general, former MP, is former foreign minister, is a senior lawyer, he should be conversant with these things. And it is really shocking that he will be at the center of this, chairing meetings, varying what Parliament has approved, without coming back to the House. And if you look at the people they have met, the CEOs they are pressurizing, they are largely CEOs of state-owned enterprises. And I know that from tracking we did last week, the boss sent in $500,000. It's boss. This is a public entity. It's for us. It's to the taxpayers a burden. You take about 3 weeks ago, they pressurized the Ghana Gas. Ghana Gas also sent in $500,000. So it's still within the public space.
But could that not be CSR? Could that not be CSR budget? But if it's CSR budget, then it was already budgeted for that, and so it wouldn't affect the original structure of these public institutions in any way. And that money, like I was saying earlier, would not be brought to you later on for you to approve, would it?
So I've looked at their work plans and what Parliament had approved for these public entities. This was not programmed. It's not in their schedule. And you see, we must bear in mind that this escalation, this ballooning from 100 million to over 600 million, at the end of the day, we are going to pay for that. It's money that could have, for example, been used to resettle our VRA spillage victims. And then one of the reasons why I've become very, 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 agitated about these things is that when you see people 5 months, our fellow compatriots, 5 months since no fault of theirs, VRA spills, they lose everything. 5 months down the lane, they are still living in tents. The government says that it hasn't mobilized enough money yet to construct resettlement homes for them. We have done our best. We've only built for 600 people. But you have more than 2,500 people still living in tents. As I speak to you, we have fellow compatriots who have died because government couldn't raise 4 million cedis to save them. I'm talking about the dialysis patients. A few days ago, we heard from the Confanochi doctors who are saying that they have only one functioning dialysis machine. It is what they had in 2016 is down to one and a half. When I listened to one of the doctors. So we have real issues. Look at the areas in the system. Who is not owed in this? Contractors are owed. School feeding caterers are owed. National service personnel are owed. Trainees are owed. The DACF, GET Fund, health insurance. So it's not as if we have money to throw around. So stay within budget. Respect our laws. Don't undermine Parliament. Respect the Constitution. And be conscious of the prevailing economic conditions. It simply doesn't make sense to be doing that. I mean, just a few days, 18 days, already $195 million has gone into infrastructure. That's about $2.4 billion. You want to now add 600 million Ghana cedis. Why? Why? For just 18 days. 33.4 million Ghana cedis is what will be spent every day. 200 million cedis every week. Why? I mean, why? Look at the people of La. You demolish their hospital. You say that you don't have money to build a new one for them. How many years now? So we have so many pressing needs. Preterm babies are still being born in this country. There are no incubators in hospital. Women are still delivering on bare grounds. Just bare floor. Why should we, even if you must carry out any review, shouldn't we be reviewing downwards? Why are we spending like we've become such a wealthy country? We have so much money, to blow around. And look, all these companies, they're even putting pressure on. Government owes these companies. Government owes Ghana Gas. The cash waterfall. Ghana Gas has not received its share. Bost is not really in a great place. GMPC has issues. So all of these things going on. The total, disregard for prudence, for frugality, is costing us. It's cost because look, we have limited resources. So if you must spend 100 million cedis, which is what Parliament has approved, and you decide to spend 6 times that, it means that money that could have gone into other sectors, whether it's providing furniture for schools under trees, whether it's helping schools that have been disconnected by ECG, like Accra suffered recently, all of those things are going to get worse. So look, it's always about leadership choices, and that's why it's really sickening that a president who promised to protect the public purse is at the center of these things. He's chairing these meetings, and he's allowing these things to go on. This is totally unacceptable.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. Let's leave it here. That's Honorable Samuel Kujeto Ablakwa. He's North Town Member of Parliament.